Well, hello, everybody. Hello. I know I don't do many videos, so I'm actually just sitting somewhere right now for work, waiting on something. And, this is kind of just like, it's just you're going to get, all of my brain worms and a data dump here in this little video from my brain. This is more questions for, honestly, the families. Because, I'm not a family member. I don't know these people. I'm not emotionally or, genetically connected to any of these people in any way. And I have some major concerns, after all of these documents have been coming out and what we just read as far as the state's objection to the defendant's offer of proof regarding the alternate perpetrators. If I'm a family member, I'm going to be super concerned about the fact that the state themselves admit that all of this time has gone on, right? So just think about this. All of this time, the state has always asserted, and the investigators have always asserted, that the knife sheath found at the scene of 1122 King, right? Allegedly under the, next to Miss Mogan. Brett Payne says he could see it to the right of Miss Mogan when viewed from the door. Yet we have other documentation that claims this was button snap side down, partially under Miss Mogan and the comforter. Okay. And we still haven't gotten a picture of this sheath out of the hundreds and hundreds of crime scene photos that have been released. We still have not gotten one single photograph of this sheath. Okay. So now back to the concern. Here's the concern for me. We've all been told, as well as the families, for a very long time, single source male DNA is all that was located on this sheath. And now we find out in this latest unsealed filing from the state that no. In fact, we have a mixed sample on the back of the sheath. That's number one. Number two, this mixed sample was not just victim DNA. And the reason that it's not just victim DNA is because the state asserts that they were able to clear all these 4 alternate perpetrators that the defense is trying to, accuse of committing the crime. The state is claiming they cleared these 4 males from the sample from the back of the sheath. Okay? So in order for the state to clear these 4 males, that would mean they had to have pulled a male profile from the mixed sample. Meaning, now you have not only this alleged single source male DNA that they found, okay, on the inside button snap of the sheath, is what the state has always claimed, right? But now we have a mixed sample on the back of the sheath that apparently a male profile has been pulled from that mixed sample. Obviously, that male profile is not the male victim. That male profile is not Mr. Kohberger. And the state is comparing it to these other suspects. Okay? So if I'm the family, I'm super concerned about, so who's the male profile mixed in with the victim DNA on the back of the sheet? Who is that? Right? If I'm the family, I'm concerned because you did not make this person allocute in any way. It wasn't even attempted. So you've known this entire time, the state investigators, Bill Thompson, All of you. Gilbertson, you've all known that there's other male DNA on that sheath mixed in with victim DNA. You've known this whole time. Why wasn't Othram employed to build a tree for that profile? What exactly happened with that profile? Right? I have so many questions about the male profile pulled from the mixed sample on the back of the sheath. I have even more questions about all of these DNA samples that are being pulled from places like Miss Mogan's bedroom door, the half wall on the second floor, the upper third floor banister, the handrail. So if you were able to compare the 4 alternate suspects to all of those crime scene samples, that would also mean those crime scene samples are also male. And they aren't Ethan and they aren't Kohberger. Whether it's more than one male, I have no idea. But that would mean that the state knows all of those crime scene samples that the state is asserting they compared to these 4 alternate perpetrators and were able to clear them are male samples. That's male DNA. And it's not Kohberger's and it's not Ethan's. And we know from Talbot's ISP report that the what is on that half wall, the sample collected from the half wall, appeared to be blood to Talbot. The sample from Miss Mogan's door, also blood droplets. It would appear the upper floor banister that they took a sample from might be where that Amido black is dripping down in the crime scene photos on the upper floor banister. That would also mean that's male. So all of these crime scene profiles, all of this crime scene DNA, it's not the victims and it's not Kohberger's and it's absolutely male. So if I'm the family, I am seriously concerned about, okay, so whose is it then? Because if you're getting, if the samples you're talking about here are blood, and it's male blood that is not the victim's and it's not Kohberger's, then what did you do with it? Why was a tree never built? Was it ever entered into CODIS? Those would be my concerns. If I'm a family member, I would be demanding to know exactly what was done with this other male profile or males plural from these crime scene samples that the state is claiming. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, we investigated these people. They were originally our suspects. And yes, now they're going to be our witnesses. But we cleared them. We investigated them and we cleared them. And this is how. We compared their DNA to all of these other crime scene profiles that we collected from all of these places, as well as the mix sample from the back of the sheath. So if all of these other people were cleared, and you know it's not Kohberger's, and you know it's not Ethan's, what did you do with that DNA? Whose is it? Because those would be my questions for these investigators and for the state. I would absolutely be demanding answers. This is just my prerogative. This is just my opinion. But I don't understand how any of these people for the state, the investigators, I don't know how these people sleep at night, knowing for a fact they have collected other male blood, potentially other male or males' blood pertinent to this crime and the crime scene, and it's potentially mixed in with victim DNA on the back of the sheath itself. And it's not Kohberger's. And they know it's not Kohberger's, and they've known this whole time it's not Kohberger's. So I don't know. I don't know. I have grave, grave concerns, okay? Because I'm not saying Kohberger's innocent. That's not even what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say is that clearly, his trace DNA on the inside button snap, as opposed to potentially what is another man or men's blood droplets in multiple areas of the home, as well as mixed in with victim DNA on the back of the sheath. And they've known this whole time. That's sick. It's demented. I don't know how I don't know how you're not bringing a case against both of these people. See what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? My confusion lies in why are there not 2 people at minimum charged? Why did they not have Othram also? Since they were sending the sample from the sheath anyway, from the inside button snap to Othram November 22nd, this fucking swab in a vial is being sent to Othram and hand delivered by Blaker, okay? Flown there. Why didn't you take the other profile with it as well? Why did you not have Othram start building trees for both? You know you have this other male sample mixed in with victim DNA on the back of the sheath. And it doesn't match the DNA on the inside button snap. You know that. And your lab knows that fairly quickly. So if I'm, I gotta tell you, I have grave, grave concerns, friends. I really do, that there is in fact another perpetrator and or perpetrators running around out there who have gotten away with this. Even if Kohberger is involved and was with them, great. Keep the motherfucker right where he is. He says he was there. He says he did it. Awesome. And if he's not going to cough up who he was with and who this other person or persons are that are fucking bleeding in the crime scene, okay, it is your absolute duty as the state and the investigators to find out who exactly, precisely that person is. Or persons. I don't understand why it wasn't done here. I really don't. And I gotta tell you, I have grave, grave concerns. There are other killer or killers out there. And to me, that's demented. That's sickening. I don't know how you know, as the FBI, ISP, MPD, and the state. I don't know how you've known all this time. All this time. There is, in fact, another male or males. You have their blood, their DNA. It's been collected from multiple samples in the crime scene. You're comparing it to other people that were once suspects and are now your witnesses. And you want to be able to present exhibits at court to say, no, see, this is how we cleared them. We cleared them from all of these crime scene samples that were collected. Well, kicker friends, here's the real kicker here. Those crime scene samples, including the DNA that was pulled from the mix sample in the back of the sheath, that's not Kohberger's DNA, and it's not your victim's DNA either. So I hope everybody, including family members, please start demanding answers. Please start demanding answers from these people, because this is sick. It's sick. It's demented. They've known the whole time. There's other people involved. They're hiding. They hid that information. They've attempted to hide that information this entire time. And if I was a family member, I would be and this was one of my kids, I got to tell you, I would be so absolutely furious, demanding you charge the other person or people. Build trees right now. I don't care. Why isn't Othram volunteering to build the tree for free? Why isn't Othram offering to do the work on those other profiles or profile? Why not? Why aren't you trying to figure out who it is? This is disgusting. It's, in my opinion, diabolical. It's truly diabolical. But, enough of my rant. I just really, I have grave concerns. I really do. And I got to tell you, if this was one of my kids and, I'm reading these documents as a family member or a parent, I would be sick to my stomach knowing I don't even know these people and I'm sick to my stomach, because to me, it's just like, it's obvious. They've known the whole time. They've known the whole time. They have some other males, male or males, DNA in this crime scene that they've collected from multiple areas of the crime scene, including an object of evidentiary value at the crime scene. And it doesn't match their fucking main suspect. And it's not matching these other alleged alternative suspects that they've allegedly cleared. And I don't know how you go to sleep at night knowing there's other people out there, person or people, who assisted, and you're not trying to figure out exactly who that is. I don't care that he pled. I don't care that he pled. If you've known this whole time, there's an accomplice or accomplices. It is your absolute duty and obligation. It's what you're being paid to do. It's what your taxpayers are paying you to do, is make sure all parties involved are charged accordingly. So, this is my call to action. Yeah? Let's do this as a call to action. I hope everyone in Idaho and beyond starts demanding whoever this DNA belongs to in this crime scene that is not Kohberger's, that appears to be some other male or men's blood. We could have either one male or multiple males here. Demand they find out who it is and charge those people accordingly. Because I promise you, your other men or men's blood in that crime scene that doesn't match your victim is absolutely more pertinent than the trace DNA located on the inside button snap. If you have another man's blood that is not Kohberger's mixed in with blood of two of the female victims on the back of that sheath, that male blood mixed in with those two victims is far more important. Far more important. And I'm just, I'm sick to my stomach that they have not identified and charged this person accordingly. It's sickening. So anyways, I don't know. That's the end of my rant. Happy hump day, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. I am going to go and get myself off to work. And I might see you guys later on this afternoon. I would like to go over a lot of this IGG paperwork in this case that we have. So probably we're going to do a live today. And we're going to go back and look at every single document in this case that was filed related to IGG, including the unsealed transcript from the sealed hearing. So if you're up for that, make sure you turn on notifications. I should have a post for the live coming up pretty soon. And, just turn on your notification for that. See you guys later. Have an awesome day. Bye.